Hi everyone, my name is Christine. Please follow along as I show you how I restored my grandma's June Tailor's Quilters cut and press mat. Here we go. Hi everyone, I am going to attempt to recover my grandma's old June Tailor's Quilters cut and press mat. See how it goes. Okay, so some of you may have seen this cutting mat in my videos, and I was looking at it through a video and being like, that looks really gross. So I was like, boy, maybe I could recover it because it was my grandma's. It was one of the things that I got from her, and I don't want to just throw it away. It's special, and I think that I can just fix it so that I don't have to go and buy another one. I don't think they're probably very much money, but I can certainly fix it rather than throw it away. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty disgusting. I think most of it's from me. It wasn't this bad when I got it from her. The back, I've never really used the back. She used it a lot. So I just love that part of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to take it apart and use my handy dandy hot glue gun. We'll see. And then I thought, you know what, just to make it even more special, I always have some of my grandma's fabric stashed away somewhere in my cabinet. So I found this piece, which I thought, this is, in the quilting world, we call this cheater cloth. So it basically looks like a quilt block, but it's just one solid piece of fabric. So I thought, well, let's use that, which would be cool. And then this was also her favorite color. She loved like this teal color. And then I found some Insul-Bright that I had on hand for when I made hot pads and coasters. So we'll be ready to go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my cheater cloth piece of fabric, all iron, so I try to get all the wrinkles out. It's been in storage probably a good 20 years. So I think it's going to work great for recovering that pressing part. So normally I don't flip fabric when I use my wool mat. But I just want to make sure to try to get as many creases out of this as possible. Okay. All right, let's go and take this thing apart. Alrighty, let's take this thing apart. If I can. Oh, Jesus. Okay. The reason I could just recover this part only and leave it, but I really like having the nostalgia from this part. And I also like the handle because I move this around a lot. Well, this way. But yeah, looks like they use some, I don't know, some sort of adhesive on there. And then it has some staples in there, which are pretty rusty. So I'm going to go get my pliers so I can take this apart. Okay, I got some pliers and a flathead screwdriver to kind of get underneath the ones that are going to be picky, and then also a pair of needle nose pliers. It's coming up pretty easy. It's just some plywood underneath here. Let me show you what that looks like there. You'll see some of these rusty nail staples in here. Most of them are coming out pretty easy. Some are going to be stubborn. I'm going to lower you down a little bit. Get a little bit better of an angle there. Be careful if you do something like this. Make sure you don't get those staples because they are pretty rusty going through your finger. Okay, I got one over here. Get an old pair of scissors. That's not going to work. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see what this baby looks like. I want to try to get all the staples out. Because if I use my staple gun, I want to make sure I don't hit anything. That one's still there. I'm just kind of taking the side of the screwdriver and just getting a little wedge in there so they'll pull out. They pull out pretty darn easy, but sometimes it's just kind of down in a rut. Just need to get some space to it. I'm gonna make sure I keep my screwdriver away from me. That one may not want to come out. Oh, close. There's like two on top of each other. Aha, there we go. Let that leverage work. Okay, so there's still some staples in the fabric here. Okay. Alrighty. I have a feeling this is going to be so gross underneath here. I bet that just has all kinds of yuckiness in it. Okay. There's the old top. Okay, let's see. This is just going to peel off. Looks like it might have been stapled down. Or, oh, it was glued down. So I'm not going to do this fast because I don't want any of these particles coming up in the air. That's probably dangerous. Something. I should probably even have gloves on, but just like my dad, we're going to live on the wild side. Just do it. Yeah, it's just some sort of adhesive that's underneath here. And all of this will be covered. I could probably ask Joe to maybe cut me another piece of plywood, but I'm all right with this. I mainly use this to rest my iron on. I have a few of the wool pressing mats, which I absolutely love. I was really reluctant to get some, but I absolutely love them. So I just use this to rest my iron on, so I have the full space of my wool cutting mats. Okay, so yeesh. Yeah, that's going in the garbage. Okay, so I'm going to take this outside and just kind of wipe it off really good with a rag, shake it out there, and kind of clean it up a little bit before I cover it. Okay, so I got that cleaned off as best as I could, and I want to measure how much to cut of the Insulbright. The Insulbright is a layer that's supposed to help from heat and cold transferring through. So this is about 13 inches by, it looks like 12 3/8. I'm going to say 12 1/4. 13 by 12 1/4. So you can see it's got this, I hope you can see that. It has like a layer of something on it. Some sort of insulator, I'm sure. So I gotta grab my other rotary cutter. I use this one for like really thick fabrics. It's an OLFA. It's, see, you squeeze it and the blade comes out, but as soon as you let go, it comes back. But I use this one for like this kind of crafting kind of stuff. Not really on my, I mean, I will use it on my fabric as long as it goes through. But I am going to put that on the 3/8. Why is this crooked? 12 3/8. Okay. I'm going to make sure to even it out because that's what us quilters do. 13 by 12 3/8. Okay. I'm not cutting a whole lot off, but I really do press too hard. I need to stop doing that, but oh well. Okay. So that looks like it is going to fit on there just fine. But you know what? Since I got this out, I'm going to do 2 layers of it because it still feels kind of thin to me, and I'm only putting that fabric on it, that cheater cloth fabric that I got from Grandma. So yeah, I'm going to do another one. So let's get another one cut here. Just because if I'm doing it, I want to do it right. I mean, it doesn't have to have cushion on it, but oh, that'll work right there. 13, right there out of that section. If you're going to do it right. Let's see. I'm going to see if there is a right side and a wrong side to this. Not intended for microwave use. So if you ever use this, don't put it in the microwave. So it must have some sort of metal or, oh, metallicite polyester. Huh. Okay. All right, so over there. I don't believe there is a wrong side or a right side. It feels needle punched, like batting. This is batting, actually. So needle punched is where there's a bunch of tiny needles. So I feel bumps on one side and smooth on the other. And so I know in quilting, I always want the bumps to the back of the quilt. So I am putting bump side to bump side. Oh, I like the thickness of that. That's much better. I don't think it really matters though, but okay. All right. Let's go and see about getting that cover on. Okay, I also got out a staple gun, which I think I'm gonna need. I mean, I don't think that you have to, we'll see. So I'm not gonna be too particular on this. I'm folded it in half, and I'm just kind of making sure that I have the same amount from where this border is on here over. And, you know, I'm not going to be able to get the whole piece on there, but I'm glad that there's enough for going around the back. So now actually I'm kind of wishing I would have cut a bigger piece of the backing, because I'm kind of feeling the edges of the wood on here, and I think that's going to bother me. So hold on, I'm going to go cut another piece. So I will actually have 3 layers on here, which I'm totally cool with that. Just to make it a little thicker. So hold on just a second. Okay, so I basically just added an inch. So I was at 13 by 12 and like a quarter to 3/8. So I just added an inch. So I did cut this one 14. Oh yeah, that'll work. 14 by 13 and a half, I think. So, all right. So again, I just have this in half, and I'm just making sure, going side to side, that I have about the same amount hanging off the side. So where this blue line is here, I'm just making sure that that's about the same. And then up here, I'm going to scooch that up a little bit. I think that's pretty good. Which right now I'm just like, oh yeah, that'll be good, that'll be fine. But I tell you what, if it's crooked, it's going to drive me crazy. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to take it, and I'm just grabbing it, and I'm going to flip it. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay. So my staple gun is really loud. It's like an electric one when you plug in. So if you use something like that, make sure you got safety glasses on. And you know what? I am on this tabletop. I don't want to take a chance of something weird happening going through. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on my wool mat to give me some extra clearance here. It's going to be super loud. I'm going to do a ton. I just want enough to hold it, because this is also going to be glued. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to pull it just a little bit. I'm really not too worried about it. I just want something that doesn't look disgusting. Okay. Okay. know you can do like a fancy fold. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing. And basically it's kind of like wrapping a present. So I put this down and I'm just kind of pushing that in there a little bit. I probably could cut that fabric, that excess fabric out, but eh. Okay. 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 I'm going to scooch it down, the camera down, and so to see if we can get a better angle. I hope that helps. Okay, so like I said, with the present, just kind of fold that down there. And then pleat that in there a little bit. Just kind of press it with my fingers. And then pull this up. Okay, I gotta turn you back. I'm hanging on to it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this one here so I can hold this pretty good. I'm just going along the edge here. And that may not be perfect, but I'm totally cool with that. There's gonna be a back on it, and reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose, right? Okay. All right, so let's do the other side. Again, push it down, fold it over. See, you're getting a recovering tutorial and a present wrapping tutorial all in one. It's really no different than wrapping a present. Always make sure your fingers are out of the way. And actually, so that I have more, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and cut this excess fabric off so there's more of this solid wood surface for the adhesive to stick to. So I'm going to do just a couple more staples along here. Watch, I'm going to run out of staples on the last one. Come on. I only need 3 more. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Now let's take some scissors. Just cutting this off. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be covered up by that plastic backing piece. I'm just trying to give a little bit more of the wooden surface area to hang or to have for the adhesive. Most of us quilters are fabric hoarders. And I'm totally cool with that. You know why? Because I've been hoarding this fabric for a really long time. And look, it has a purpose. Oh, look at that. Aww. Yay. Okay. I'm so happy with how that turned out. Cool. Okay. Now let's get to gluing. Let me move some stuff out of the way, clean up my area a little bit. Get my old hot glue gun plugged in. Get to finishing this up. Okie dokie, here we got the plastic piece of the rotary cutting mat and our newly covered ironing half. So let's see. It looks like it hangs over, which is what it did before. So let's see. I think I'll scooch it up here a little bit. That's too far. Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea before I put the glue down. And then I'm going to find something heavy to set it on. I was going to use like another kind of adhesive, and if this doesn't end up holding, which a lot of times hot glue doesn't, not for something heavy like this, but if not, then I'll use another adhesive down the road. But for right now, this is gonna hopefully work. Okay. No, don't slide. Okay. Hopefully it'll give me some grace. Wow, that's sticking already. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. Pretty good. Okay, so I went looking for something to give this some weight. So you make me laugh. Anybody that has a water softener? Oh, no, these bags are heavy. So I'm just going to leave that on there. Help kind of press that glue out. Leave it on there for a little bit. I'll probably turn it so it's not quite covering as far. And I'll probably let it dry overnight. We'll see. Okay, it's just been a couple hours. I want to see what it's doing. Looks pretty good. What do you think? Reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose. And I got a new home for my iron. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here is my recovered mat. It is 6 months later, and you could tell it has gotten good and worn, but I just wanted to show you that that hot glue is still holding up. I have not added any more. I mean, there's a little gap, but I don't, use this a lot except for to rest my iron on. So yeah, there's an update. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.